When somebody asks me what my favorite movie is, I have a rather hard time giving an answer. Empire Strikes Back, The Shining, Infinity War, it isn't really something consistent for me. However, when somebody asks me what my favorite game is, I've had the same answer for over a decade. The original Half-Life was one of the first games I was able to experience, and it has remained at the top of my list ever since. From the amazing AI to the engaging location, from the weaponry to the creature design, from the story to the community around it. My intent with this series is to talk about every aspect of the game that I believe contributes to its status as one of the most influential games in history and its enduring legacy. I will be talking about these aspects from a story perspective, a behind-the-scenes perspective, and looking at how they affect the game while playing. To lay out my credentials, I have 107 hours in Half-Life and 85 in Half-Life Source. I've played through the entirety of the game at least 10 times in the last 3 years, as well as countless mods and nearly every spin-off and sequel. I'm making this series partially because I just really like talking about this amazing game, but even more so because in the last few years, the majority of people I've met have never played the game. If you're unfamiliar, in Half-Life, you are Gordon Freeman, a theoretical physicist who goes to work early in the morning in the Sector C test labs of the Black Mesa Research Facility. On this day in particular, the sector is conducting an experiment involving an unknown object, which results about as well as any science experiment in a first-person shooter. The facility now entirely overrun with aliens, you must fight for your life to escape, and eventually, help to close off the aliens' point of access. Half-Life absolutely revolutionized the genre when it was released, combining the interactive, familiar settings of games like Duke Nukem with the technological prowess of a heavily modified Quake engine. You will experience 18 distinct chapters of gameplay, some of which I plan to explore in greater depth in their own videos. Though the game was initially released in 1998 as Valve Software's first game, I believe it has held up better than almost any other game for its time. Of course, there's a lot to go over, so I would heavily appreciate any and all feedback or suggestions for the series. Our first stop will be a look at Gordon Freeman, his history both in-game and in real life, and the way in which he affects the game. Thank you very much for taking the time to give this series a look. I'll see you in the next episode.